There are things that only the chosen understand. There are secrets that cannot be spoken loudly because they are too holy, too powerful, and too sacred for common ears. You who are chosen by God must learn this truth. Not everyone can understand your calling. Not everyone deserves to hear what God whispered in your spirit. Some things are not meant to be shared. They are meant to be guarded. For when God selects a soul for divine purpose, He does not expose the blueprint of destiny to the crowd. He hides it deep within your heart and says, keep it until the time is right. Chosen one, you must keep this secret. When God chooses you, He places upon you a weight, a spiritual assignment so great that ordinary minds will never grasp it. They will question you, mock you, and misinterpret your silence. But that is because they do not see what you see. They do not hear what you hear. They do not walk where you walk. God is dealing with you in a private language that only your soul understands. And that language, that inner revelation, must not be shouted from the rooftops. It must be protected within the sacred chamber of your heart. Because once you expose divine instruction too soon, you invite interference, misunderstanding, and even sabotage. The secret is the shield of the chosen. The greatest mistake many chosen ones make is speaking before the time. They reveal the dream before it matures. They share the plan before it's sealed. And they invite voices that were never authorized to speak into their destiny. Do not tell everyone what God is doing in you. Do not announce every vision He plants in your spirit. There are things God will only entrust to you when He knows you can keep quiet. Because silence is not weakness, silence is strength. Silence is protection. Silence is obedience. The chosen learn to move in quiet power while others talk in loud confusion. The chosen let their results speak louder than their explanations. Understand this. When God begins to elevate you, not everyone will celebrate. Some will smile but secretly envy you. Some will pretend to support you but quietly plot against you. When the light of God shines upon you, darkness awakens in those who have hidden motives. That is why you must guard your secret. Protect the plan God gave you like a treasure. When others ask what you are working on, smile but stay silent. When they demand to know how you endure so much, lift your eyes to heaven and say, by the strength of God and nothing more. Because the secret of the chosen is that their strength comes from the unseen. Their power flows from prayer, not from performance. There will be moments when God isolates you. You will feel alone, misunderstood, even forgotten. But this isolation is divine. God hides you before He displays you. He separates you before He elevates you. He trains you in the secret place so that when He reveals you, no one can claim they made you. The secret seasons are sacred. They are not punishment, they are preparation. Every chosen one must pass through the school of silence, the wilderness of waiting, the chamber of hidden growth. While others run ahead to be seen, God keeps you hidden to be strengthened. Do not fight that. Embrace it. For the one who can keep God's secret can be trusted with God's power. There will be times when you want to explain yourself, when you want to defend your name, prove your worth, and clarify your intentions. But the chosen do not need validation. The chosen let God speak for them. When you speak too much, you drain your spiritual energy. When you stay silent, you allow God to act. You must learn the discipline of divine restraint. The world calls it silence. Heaven calls it wisdom. Your silence is not ignorance, it is strategy. Because when you reveal too much, you weaken your authority. But when you speak only when led by God, your words carry the weight of heaven. Chosen one, there are prayers that must remain between you and God alone. There are battles you must fight in secret. There are tears no one should see but God. There are victories no one should hear about until the right time. The strength of your journey lies in your ability to hide what God is doing until He says, now. The secret keeps you pure. The secret keeps you focused. The secret keeps you protected. Many have fallen not because the enemy was powerful, but because they exposed the divine information to human judgment. Do not let curiosity lead you to disobedience. Keep the mystery alive, because the mystery is where God works. When you are chosen, God will show you things in dreams, visions, and whispers that are not meant to be public. They are spiritual blueprints, heavenly codes, and divine instructions. You must not broadcast them to everyone who listens. Some will not believe you. Some will twist your words. Some will try to copy your calling. Guard your revelation with the discipline. Even when excitement fills your heart, learn to wait. God never rushes. He moves in perfect timing. The secret He gives you today is the foundation of your testimony tomorrow. Protect it until it grows into fruit that everyone can see. Do you know why God hides His chosen ones? Because destiny needs darkness to develop. Just as a seed cannot grow under open sunlight before it roots itself deep in the soil, so must your purpose remain underground before it blossoms. The soil is your secret. It's the place where God shapes you, refines you, and prepares you. Others may mock you for being unseen, but you are not forgotten. You are planted. And when the time comes, God Himself will cause you to rise, strong, radiant, and unstoppable. Until then, hold your secret like sacred fire, not to be displayed, but to be preserved. Chosen one, God is teaching you to trust Him more than people. Because when you speak too soon, you make room for opinions that can pollute your faith. People cannot always handle the magnitude of what God is doing in you. Their minds are limited. Their perspectives are narrow. But God's plan is infinite. What seems impossible to others is natural to Him. That is why He keeps His best work hidden, because only He understands its depth. So when you feel misunderstood, rejoice. When people walk away because you stopped explaining yourself, smile. For it means God is drawing you into deeper secrecy, deeper intimacy with Him alone. The secret is your protection. It is your spiritual armor. When you live in constant explanation, you expose your spirit to judgment and envy. But when you live in quiet confidence, you create a shield around your purpose. Let your progress be silent. Let your growth be unannounced. Let your transformation surprise those who doubted you. The chosen do not announce. They emerge. They do not seek applause. They seek approval from God alone. Every time you stay silent when you could boast, heaven records it as humility. And humility is what keeps the hand of God upon you. Remember this. Revelation without timing is destruction. Even if you know what God will do, you must wait for when He will do it. Timing is everything in the realm of the chosen. Speak too soon and you risk losing divine momentum. Speak too late and you may miss the window of a manifestation. But when you stay tuned to God's timing, when you guard His secrets until He releases you, everything flows in perfect harmony. Do not try to convince anyone to believe in what God told you. You are not required to be understood. You are required to be faithful. And faithfulness often looks like a silence to the world. Sometimes your silence will confuse those around you. They will call you distant, mysterious, or strange. But what they call strange, heaven calls sacred. What they call secretive, heaven calls obedient. You are not here to fit in. You are here to fulfill purpose. Let them talk. You keep walking. Let them speculate. You keep praying. Let them guess. You keep guarding what God deposited in your spirit. Because every chosen one must learn to live in divine confidentiality. The more God trusts you with silence, the greater the revelation He gives you in private. When you pray, do not always ask God to reveal His plan to others. Ask Him to strengthen your ability to carry it in secret. The secret place is where spiritual authority is born. When God sees that you can protect these mysteries, He begins to trust you with the greater things. Many people want to hear God's voice, but few are ready to handle what He says. Because revelation comes with a responsibility. When God speaks, He expects silence until He commands action. That silence is not emptiness, it's alignment. It means your heart and His are beating in the same rhythm. There will be seasons when God blesses you in ways that others cannot comprehend. You will experience favor that seems unreasonable, doors that open without explanation, and opportunities that defy logic. Do not explain it. Do not justify it. Just give glory to God in secret. Because when you try to explain spiritual favor to those with a carnal mind, you only invite confusion. Some blessings are meant to be displayed, others are meant to be hidden. Let your gratitude be louder than your announcements. Let your worship be stronger than your explanations. The chosen learn to celebrate silently. The more God uses you, the more you must learn discretion. Because visibility is vulnerability. The higher God takes you, the more careful you must be about who you trust, what you reveal, and where you speak. Some people are not enemies, but they are not ready to handle your truth. Love them, but protect your purpose. Respect them, but guard your revelation. Even when God performs miracles in your life, discern when to testify and when to stay quiet. Testimony has timing. Every secret will have its day of unveiling, but let God decide that day, not your emotions. When people ask how you remain so peaceful, how you endure so much without breaking, just smile. Because the secret of your strength is not in what they see, it's in who sustains you. God has become your foundation, your voice, your region, your breath. You no longer need the validation of the world because you have the approval of heaven. You are not sustained by applause, but by alignment. The chosen do not depend on recognition. They depend on revelation. The secret is that your power comes from surrender, from walking so closely with God that your silence becomes your weapon. Every chosen soul will one day face betrayal. Someone will misuse your trust, twist your words, or expose what you said in confidence. But do not let that wound you. God allowed it to train you. Betrayal is a part of the molding of the chosen. It teaches you that your secret belongs to God alone. You cannot share divine secrets with untested hearts. That's why God allows disappointment to sharpen your discernment. Learn to give your silence where once you gave your words. Learn to pray instead of explain. Learn to let God handle what your mouth once tried to defend. The chosen must also understand that their silence is not passive, it is prophetic. When you refuse to react, you are declaring that your confidence is not in man, but in God. When you stay calm while others gossip, you are demonstrating trust in divine justice. Your stillness is a statement of faith. It says, I know God is fighting for me. You don't have to prove yourself when heaven has already approved you. You don't have to expose others when God will reveal everything in His own time. The chosen walk with quiet authority, unshaken, unbothered, unstoppable. God will sometimes test you by revealing small secrets to see if you can keep them. If you cannot handle silence, you cannot handle revelation. The chosen are trained in secrecy before being trusted with glory. You must learn to hold divine information without letting curiosity or pride make you speak. When you can protect what God shows you in private, He will begin to use you publicly. But if you rush to announce every divine whisper, He will withdraw until you learn restraint. Because revelation and maturity go hand in hand. Do you want to be trusted by God? Then become silent before Him. When others run to speak, learn to listen. When others boast of their visions, hide yours in prayer. When others seek to impress, seek to obey. Your strength lies in your stillness. The chosen are not loud. They are deep. They carry secrets that the world cannot interpret. They are misunderstood because their lives are written in divine code. You must accept that not everyone will understand you, and that is okay. You are not here to be understood. You are here to fulfill divine purpose. There will be moments when your secret burns inside you, when the weight of what God showed you feels too great to carry alone. In those moments, don't run to people, run to God. Pour out your heart before Him. He is the only one worthy of hearing it. He understands every unspoken thought, every silent tear, every private struggle. He is your confidant, your shield, your secret keeper. And the more you trust Him with your silence, the more He trusts you with His mysteries. When God chooses you, He does not announce it to the world. He confirms it in your spirit. You feel it in the way your heart begins to reject what others accept. You feel it in the way you can no longer enjoy what once entertained you. You feel it in your sleepless nights when something divine burns within you, whispering that you were made for something greater. That whisper is not madness, it is destiny calling. And the secret of that calling is too sacred to expose to people who are still trying to understand their own lives. The chosen must learn to live with divine restraint, because when you speak too soon, you give room for the wrong voices to enter your sacred assignment. Chosen one, the power of your life is not in how much you reveal, but in how much you conceal until the right time. God hides His treasures until they are ready. The sun does not appear instantly, it rises gradually. In the same way, your purpose is not meant to explode overnight. It is meant to unfold in divine rhythm. You must keep quiet while God works beneath the surface. People may call your stillness stagnation, but it is actually divine strategy. Every moment of silence is a seed. Every unspoken word is a weapon. Every secret you protect becomes a shield around your destiny. Do not let impatience destroy what God is building. The chosen are often tempted to prove themselves, to show their worth, to display their progress. But those who truly walk with God know that the loudest victories are those that happen in silence. The moment you start explaining everything, you lose your spiritual covering. Let God speak through your results, not your reports. When the fruit appears, you will not need to explain the seed. When the promise manifests, you will not need to defend the process. God Himself will vindicate you. There is divine power in mystery. God moves through hiddenness because hiddenness protects holiness. The more sacred something is, the more concealed it must be. Think of how the most precious jewels are buried deep in the earth. The deeper they are hidden, the greater their value. So it is with you. You are hidden because you are valuable. You are not overlooked. You are protected. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. The world may not see your preparation, but heaven does. And when the time comes, God will lift the veil and show what He has been shaping in secret. Be careful whom you allow to see your process. Not every listener is a believer. Some want information to help you. Others want information to harm you. This is why God wants His chosen ones to discern the company they keep. You must not speak divine plans in casual conversations. You must not expose your prayer life to curious minds. You must not allow people with worldly perspectives to analyze heavenly matters. There are things only God can understand, and you must keep them between you and Him. Chosen one, the greatest revelations often come when no one is watching. God does His best work when you are alone with Him. That is why your solitude is sacred. Do not rush out of it. Do not despise it. When you are hidden, God is speaking. When you are silent, God is shaping. When you are still, God is strengthening. The quiet seasons of your life are not empty. They are pregnant with divine purpose. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust that every moment of obscurity is preparation for manifestation. Your secret is not weakness, it is warfare. It is your spiritual strategy against premature exposure. The enemy cannot attack what he does not know. The moment you speak your secret carelessly, you open a door for interference. Guard your plans in prayer. Guard your thoughts in stillness. Guard your dreams in the safety of your spirit. Even your tears are sacred. Let them fall before God alone. Let your pain be seen only by the one who understands it fully. There is healing in hiddenness. There is power in privacy. There is victory in silence. Do not be deceived by the noise of the world. In this age of constant exposure, where everyone wants to show what they are doing, the chosen must walk differently. You do not need to announce your growth, your success, or your intimacy with God. True power never advertises itself. True authority moves quietly. God does not thunder every moment, He whispers. And the chosen must learn that same holy restraint, to move with confidence, not noise, with wisdom, not haste, with purpose, not pride. When God gives you vision, protect it like a seed planted in your soul. A seed does not survive if it is dug up every day to show others. You must let it grow underground where no eye can see. That is how faith works. Faith does not need applause, it needs patience. While others look for recognition, you must look for revelation. The chosen are not driven by validation from people, they are driven by instruction from God. Keep the instruction pure, keep the secret safe. Because what God has for you is too sacred to be shared before it's time. Sometimes God will even silence your spirit. You will feel as though you cannot speak, as though words are trapped within you. Do not force expression when God has ordained silence. That divine restriction is not punishment, it is a preservation. He is teaching you that some things must be protected until they are matured. You cannot birth the revelation before its time. The chosen must learn the rhythm of heaven, a rhythm that moves slower than the world, but far deeper in meaning. There is a holiness in holding back. There is reverence in waiting. When you protect what God is doing within you, you honor His process. The impatient reveal, the wise conceal, the impulsive expose, the faithful preserve. You must become so spiritually mature that your peace is not disturbed by not being understood. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. Let them wonder. While they talk, you build. While they guess, you grow. While they question, you pray. That is the secret life of the chosen. Never allow the desire to be seen to destroy what God is building in the unseen. Many lose divine favor because they exchange secrecy for visibility. They reveal the blueprint too soon. They announce the miracle before it fully forms. They speak the prophecy before it manifests. And when opposition rises, they are unprepared because they share prematurely. The chosen must learn that not all good news should be broadcasted, and not every blessing must be explained. Some victories belong only between you and God. The chosen are misunderstood because they live from a deeper place. They make decisions that don't make sense to others. They walk away from things others chase. They stay silent in situations where others would argue. That silence is not passivity, it is dominion. It is the authority of one who knows that God controls outcomes. You do not need to win arguments when God is your defender. You do not need to prove your worth when your worth is already established in heaven. The moment you understand that, you stop explaining yourself to those who were never meant to understand your journey. There are people who will never recognize the anointing on your life because they are too familiar with your humanity. That is why God keeps you silent in their presence. If you speak too much, they will misinterpret divine wisdom as arrogance. If you reveal too much, they will turn your prophecy into gossip. Silence protects you from the immature. The chosen must learn to communicate less and discern more. Every conversation is an exchange of energy. God yours wisely. Chosen one, your silence is not empty. It is a declaration of trust. It says, I do not need to control what God already controls. It says, I am safe even when I am unseen. It says, I believe in divine timing more than human approval. When you choose silence over argument, you are telling God, I trust you to reveal the truth. And He will. God will always vindicate the one who keeps their heart pure and their mouth closed. There will come a time when the secret you kept will become the testimony that inspires many. But it will only happen when the process is complete. God reveals outcomes, not drafts. He presents finished works, not unfinished stories. That is why He hides you while He perfects you. The longer He hides you, the greater the unveiling will be. Do not fight the hidden season. Embrace it as evidence that something magnificent is growing within you. You must also understand that every chosen soul carries a secret pain. That pain is the pressure of divine formation. It is the tension of being between promise and fulfillment. You cannot explain it to others because they will not understand. So you carry it quietly. You pray when no one sees. You weep when no one hears. You worship when no one applauds. That is how God molds you into a vessel of depth and power. The pain is not punishment, it is preparation. The chosen are pressed privately so that they can shine publicly. Be careful not to confuse exposure with elevation. Not every spotlight comes from God. Some lights blind, only God's light refines. The world offers visibility, God offers purpose. Choose purpose. Choose silence over show. Choose depth over display. The chosen are not meant to chase attention. They are meant to carry presence. And the presence of God rests upon those who can be trusted to keep His secrets. When you can live without explaining yourself, you have reached a level of spiritual maturity few ever attain. You no longer need people to understand you because you have a peace with God. You no longer chase validation because you have a vision. You no longer fear being misunderstood because you are anchored in divine purpose. This is the true power of the chosen, to walk in quiet confidence, to act without announcing, to move with divine certainty that God's plan will unfold exactly as intended. There will be days when you feel like speaking, when silence feels like suffocation. In those moments, remember, even silence speaks to God. Every unspoken word becomes a prayer. Every restrained thought becomes an offering. Every withheld explanation becomes a sacrifice of obedience. God hears what you do not say. He sees the strength it takes to stay silent, and He rewards it with a deeper revelation and higher discernment. There will come a time, chosen one, when the silence you kept will not just protect you, it will define you. It will become the mark of your wisdom, the evidence of your spiritual maturity. You will look back and realize that every moment you stayed silent was a moment of divine discipline. God was teaching you how to operate in wisdom rather than emotion. He was training you to respond to spiritual things spiritually, not through the weakness of human impulse. The chosen are not reactionary, they are revelatory. They move when God says move. And they speak only when the Spirit within them confirms the timing. God hides power behind restraint. Those who cannot control their tongue cannot carry divine authority. The moment you speak without guidance, you expose what God meant to protect. The chosen must become guardians of divine speech, carriers of holy discretion. You cannot reveal what has not been authorized. You cannot share what has not been sealed. God gives you insight, not to boast, but to build. Some revelations are meant to be prayed through, not spoken aloud. Some instructions are meant to be followed in silence, not shared with spectators. Do you know why God trusts only few with deep mysteries? Because only the few can carry them without pride. When you know something divine, when you've heard a whisper from eternity, it is easy to feel superior to others. But that is not the way of the chosen. The chosen understand that revelation is not for exaltation, it is for execution. You were not shown so you could shine. You were shown so you could serve. And those who serve God must learn to do it quietly, faithfully, and without seeking attention. God elevates those who can walk in secrecy without losing humility. The proud want to be seen. The wise want to be effective. The proud crave acknowledgement. The wise crave alignment. When you understand that your purpose is sacred, you no longer need validation. You no longer chase recognition. because your reward is not found in applause, it is found in the quiet satisfaction of obedience. Every hidden act of faith, every silent prayer, every unseen sacrifice, God records it all. And when the time is right, He rewards openly what was done in secret. Chosen one, you must understand that even your pain is part of the secret plan. The tears you shed in the dark, the battles you fight in silence, the storms you endure alone, all of this divine preparation. God does not expose your struggles to embarrass you. He conceals them to empower you. You may think your suffering is unseen, but it is in those very moments of isolation that heaven leans closest. God is nearest to the ones who trust Him in silence. Your pain is the proof of your preparation, and your restraint is the proof of your readiness. Sometimes God will strip away every audience so you can learn that His approval is enough. When no one applauds you, He will. When no one notices your effort, He sees. When no one understands your silence, He knows why you kept it. The chosen must learn to live for the unseen applause of heaven. Because when your loyalty shifts from people to God, you enter a different level of spiritual authority. You no longer depend on the world to define you. You become unshakable, untouchable, and unstoppable, not because of pride, but because of trust. The secret you keep is a covenant between you and God. When you protect it, you are saying, God, I trust you even when I don't understand. I trust you even when I can't explain. Every act of silence becomes an act of worship. Every moment of restraint becomes a declaration of faith. You are saying, I believe your timing is perfect. I believe your ways are higher. That kind of a faith moves mountains. That kind of a trust invites divine favor. There are many who start with passion but lose power because they cannot stay silent. They rush ahead of God's timing, revealing what was meant to be hidden. They expose divine plans to unspiritual listeners, and what was sacred becomes contaminated by doubt. But the chosen know that not everything seen should be spoken, and not everything spoken should be repeated. You must be a vault of divine wisdom, sealed, disciplined, and strong. Only then can God entrust you with deeper revelations. When God whispers something to your spirit, it is not meant for debate, it is meant for destiny. You must guard divine whispers like a holy fire. Keep them in your soul until the moment of manifestation. The world will see the fruit, but they will never know the root. That's the power of the chosen. The ability to endure in secrecy until God says, now. When the now of God comes, no power in heaven or on earth can stop what He has prepared. But before the now, there must be silence. There will be voices that tempt you to speak before time. People will ask questions you are not meant to answer. They will pressure you to explain what God has not yet revealed. Resist that temptation. The chosen are not obligated to explain divine timing. They are called to obey it. You don't owe anyone an explanation for what God is doing in you. You owe God your obedience, your faith, and your silence. The less you explain, the more peace you preserve. Sometimes your silence will frustrate others because it reveals their impatience. Let it. When they cannot understand your quiet confidence, they will misinterpret it as pride. But it is not pride. It is peace. The chosen walk with an assurance that does not require explanation. You don't need to prove your relationship with God.